Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 401 of the Ping Pong Flix Show, which is going to be a ginormous episode filled with tinfoil stuff towards the end of this video. And so stay tuned for that. But let's go through a bunch of updates right now. The first one's in regards to the Batman. This is coming from Collider. Matt Reeves is currently preparing to direct The Batman, with Robert Pattinson set to star and half of Hollywood angling to play villains like Catwoman, Penguin, the Riddler, not to mention Commissioner Gordon, Bruce Wayne's loyal butler, Alfred. Expect those decisions to be made before Halloween, as production is slated to start at the top of 2020. Warner Brothers will release The Batman on June 25th of 2021. So from that excerpt, we pretty much know a lot of those things, except the part where those decisions, casting decisions, we should know, basically, everybody who's going to play anybody in the Batman before Halloween. So that is the time late. It could come out October 30th, and then we'll finally know who's Catwoman, Penguin, Riddler, and all those other people. But those are the expectations right now. So it could happen any day now, where we know who's going to be these villains, or it could happen as soon as like October 30th, October 31st. Anything can happen and change. But according to Collider, this is what they're talking about now. So that is the Batman. So if you're waiting for confirmation, or you're waiting for people who's going to be cast, it's not that much longer, guys. Not that much longer. We're already in September, mid-September, and it's getting closer and closer to revealing the villains and hopefully revealing the costume, because that's what excites me the most right now. Knowing who's playing Batman, the second most exciting thing is what his costume is going to look like. Now, the other movie, and this has been going around and around right now, is that James Gunn has finally officially released the cast for The Suicide Squad. He tweeted this out the other day. Don't get too attached. Hashtag The Suicide Squad. And it's a giant cast. I mean, look at that. There's about 24 people on this list right now, and I can read it off to you. David Dastmalchian, John Cena, Jai Courtney, Joaquin Cosio, Nathan Fillion, Joe Kinnaman, Mei Ling Ing, Flula Borg, Sean Gunn, Juan Diego Boto, Storm Reed, Pete Davidson, Taika Waititi, Alice Braga, Steve Agee, Tinashe Kajesi, I can't say these names, Daniela Melchior, Peter Capaldi, Julio Ruiz, Jennifer Holland, Viola Davis, Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, and Michael Rooker. And this what looks like to be possibly the official font for the Suicide Squad movie, which looks pretty cool. I mean, it's got that old comic book style look to it, has the bullet holes in it, and for him to say, don't get too attached, means a lot. Meaning that this is definitely going to be a Suicide Squad that a lot of these people are not going to make it to the end of the film. Right? I mean, the Suicide Squad movie, there's about 2 deaths in the first Suicide Squad movie, but for the most part, most of the cast and characters actually survived. This one, they're saying he's not saying not to get too attached. So I'm thinking it may be a Dirty Dozen scenario where at the end there's only like 4 of them living, I believe, and a lot of deaths in that, and which would actually make sense for the name here being Suicide Squad, in which it's a lot of danger involved in it. Is it still going to be rated R? That's we're waiting for confirmation with that, and I think it will be, seeing that Joker will be, seeing that Birds of Prey will be rated R. I'm thinking James Gunn will definitely strive for that rated R film, but we'll see what happens, what Warner Brothers decides on that, and if they'll let him do that. A lot of interesting names in here. Michael Rooker, for one, people said he's been denying that he's even in the movie. Apparently, he is in the movie, but I think what he was really denying was that he was denying that he was King Shark. And James Gunn does say that he hasn't released any of these characters, who's playing who in the film, maybe at a later date. So it still could be up in the air. Who are all these characters playing? Are they really going to be DC characters, or are they not going to be DC characters? Are they just side characters? Who's the general and everything like that? I noticed that Benicio del Toro's name is not in here, so he's not going to be the villain. Who's the villain in this film? That's the one I'm really trying to look at here. And the other one is that Mei Ling Ing is an interesting cast, a choice, because she looks pretty strong and big. And Thomas Polito, who is a scooper, suggested that he's guessing that Mei Ling Ing is the monstrous female alien that was supposed to be in the Suicide Squad, in which she actually, without being tagged in, I think, she actually responded that she cannot say that her lips are sealed and she cannot talk about it. Well, we'll know soon enough. And so within that, there were a lot of different rumors and theories out there, and I thought this was interesting. That's been suggested that she could be playing Rampage. Rampage is an actual DC character within the DC, and she went up against Superman, and she is an alien. She is strong. She is monstrous looking. So that could be a surefire bet that maybe Mei Ling could play her. Now it could be a different character altogether. It could be not even a character you even see in DC. Could have been like that, but I'm thinking because it's DC, and knowing that James Gunn pulls a lot from the lore, like how he's done with Guardians of the Galaxy. He pulls, whatever you want to say about his movies, he pulls quite a bit from the lore. He digs deep and brings out these characters, and characters that not many people know of. And so Rampage, I think, would be cool. It could connect a little bit to Superman maybe later on, and I think that would be a great way to connect that, overall, just expanding the universe in that general terms. Now, the Suicide Squad looks pretty exciting, and I think a lot of people are definitely excited about this film, and including David Ayer himself. He said that he said this: DC is blessed to have James Gunn, and he's getting his popcorn ready. So that is amazing to see him say that, and he's going out of his way to exactly just praising praising James Gunn in directing this movie. He even says, "Yet I know James Gunn will make something amazing." His frustration, though, about a lot of the critics that are coming out talking about how this is better than the previous director, or this is better than a previous vision, and they're just really dogging on David Ayer's film. He said this: "My frustration comes from being hammered for something that was not my original vision." Publicly stating once again that the movie that everyone saw, Suicide Squad, was not his original vision, and we know that for a long time now. We want Warner Brothers to release the Ayer Cut, maybe not as much as people are talking about the Snyder Cut, but it should really be. It should just be as much as the Snyder Cut. I mean, we really want to see David Ayer's original vision. If Warner Brothers is gonna do a Snyder Cut, they definitely should do an Ayer Cut as well, because during that leadership, it was more bullies in this case. They really should release the Ayer Cut, the Snyder Cut of those films, because they really were dogged at, and they really were condensed and changed, and the vision was just not what David Ayer and Zack Snyder had wanted. There was some controversy the other day too, and I've only been going through it trying to see different points about it. But apparently, James Gunn has been liking some posts where they actually crap on David Ayer and his vision. And he hasn't really expressed that. He just liked certain posts, which some of them have disappeared from his likes now. Whether he reread that and thought, he made a mistake and decided to not like that post or not, we don't know. He did respond to David Ayer when David Ayer tagged him with a pray emoji, and whether so it could be a mistake or it could not be a mistake. At the same breath, people dogging on the movie could actually further hammer in stone that David Ayer's vision, not his vision, that Suicide Squad, the movie that came out, was not a good movie because that wasn't his vision. And so maybe those people who didn't like that would appreciate David Ayer's cut, his real cut, seeing that the one they saw in the theaters was Warner Brothers' vision and not his. And so that would probably maybe even strengthen that. And hopefully they realize that by now that David Ayer did not officially, that wasn't his final cut. That's not the movie that he wanted to put out. And so they should stop really just venting that frustration towards him, but to the studio, and make the studio release the cut that David Ayer and his cast and crew members worked really hard on. So I hope that's the case in here, and I haven't really given James Gunn the benefit of the doubt yet. I don't think so at this point has he come out and apologized for liking those posts at all, but the Suicide Squad is coming out still yet. He's still the director for the Suicide Squad, and there's 24 people who are being cast in that movie that I think I would really want to see their movie to be made, and I'm still waiting to see if James Gunn will respond to any of that. So far, he has unliked one of the more aggressive criticisms, criticized tweets towards David Ayer, but I feel like a lot of the people on Twitter, a lot of fandom would appreciate him to come out and say something about what he did or not. Who knows at this point? But the Suicide Squad is still coming out, and we'll learn more about that as the days go on for that. Now, in terms of we're getting into more tinfoil territory, I would wear this. I really would. But I'm not going to, because it's extremely hot here in Hawaii right now. So I'm just going to leave this off. But this is an indication that we're getting into tinfoil territory. Now, Henry Cavill, he's been doing a lot of modeling gigs, a lot of modeling jobs, of course. And one of them is Hugo Boss, where he wears shades. He's got this jacket. In the Hugo Boss edition, there's an article on this site, and I'll link it to the description below. It says this. It says this about Henry Cavill. It's hard to pinpoint the moment when Henry Cavill's life truly changed. Was it when the actor still at school was cast in 2002's swashbuckling Count of Monte Cristo? Was it when he became a fan favorite in Showtime's hit series The Tudors? Or was it, and yes, this is probably your best bet, when he was cast as our current Superman? Since 2013's Man of Steel, it's been Cavill donning that infamous red cape in a series of big budget blockbusters. True to form, though, he remains modest about his rise. Hone in on that one question. Was it, and yes, this is probably your best bet, when he was cast as our current Superman? So a lot of these entertainment articles and media like to say he was Superman, he was the previous Superman, and things like that. This is probably the first time and yes, this is from Hugo Boss. It's not an entertainment article in any case, but it is still an article. It is still something that was put out, and it says he was cast as our current Superman, meaning he is still Superman to this day. And yes, of course, he is Superman to this day because there hasn't been a new person cast as Superman. So right now he is currently Superman. I get that, but it's nice to see someone say that. It's nice to read that somewhere, right? That he is the current Superman, and it seems like for someone who they're saying that he's no longer Superman, you would think that he wouldn't be, hinting about being Superman at all. But Will Rowland's pointing this out, and I've only seen one of these things, so I didn't realize that Henry Cavill actually Instagrammed some other things. His last 3 posts about himself, Henry Cavill was hinting that he is still Superman, or at least really fighting to still be Superman, recognizing himself as the current Superman and not letting go of that. I mean, you don't see him going, I am the new Witcher, I'm here, I'm new Witcher, I'm going to be talking about, hinting at Witcher here. No, he's hinting at Superman here. Apparently, a few days ago, he was sporting the Superman crash helmet once again. He's done that before. I've seen him do that. He's supporting Kansas Chiefs, yet clearly he's not in Kansas, apparently. I don't know about that one, but that's interesting. And also the one today where he's dressed like Clark Kent, and yes, it's a style, but he's got glasses. He looks like Clark Kent, and then if you notice in the sentence all the way at the bottom, it says disclaimer, don't stare directly at the sun. I may get my superpowers from there, but you will probably do some damage. Of course, Superman gets the powers from the sun. That's where his powers come from. That is a Superman thing. This is essentially Henry Cavill just saying that he's still Superman, I would say, or at least not letting go of the fact that he did play Superman. He's still the current Superman, and he has every intent to want to play Superman for future Superman films. And so I am very happy that he is still putting this out. He is not going into Witcher territory in terms of just hinting at and playfully hinting at these things, which is fine too for Witcher fans. But it's great to see him support that, hey, I'm still Superman, or I still want to be Superman. So Warner Brothers, look, I'm not going away. I still look the part, and people are excited that I'm talking about being Superman. People want me to be Superman, so I'm going to continue fighting for that very little here and there without actually blowing it out and saying I'm still Superman. So and I think to me, I feel like Warner Brothers is just waiting for the right director to take that on, and I think that director could definitely be J.J. Abrams now that his deal is secure with Warner Media, Warner Brothers. I think that is probably somewhere on the table. I mean, it's a huge property. 1, DC is a huge property. 2, Superman is the greatest superhero of all time. Of course, a man like J.J. Abrams will want to take that on. So hopefully that will come sooner than later. Now, the next tinfoil is a huge tinfoil. And I want to be clear here that we are not really sure what this means yet, but it's an interesting and intriguing thing that came out, right? So I was hinted to by a certain somebody over on Instagram that this Instagram post came out from DC_lover_king_1992. I actually I think I recognize this person who was at the Snyder Con. He apparently was able to message Go Real Deal. And you're like, who is Go Real Deal? Well, Go Real Deal, he is a person, it's an account. It is manned and put together by a person named Mada Abdelhamid. He's Jason Momoa's personal trainer. He also trains, you see in his Instagram post, he also trains Ray Fisher. He also trains Mark Wahlberg. So he's kind of like a a trainer for celebrities in California. And you may recognize this man as well. He is in a lot of Jason Momoa's videos that he goes. He goes everywhere with Jason Momoa. You see him many times in his videos, even at meetings. DC Lover King 1992 apparently was able to message him, and you can. I mean, I could do it myself. I haven't yet, but he messaged him and just asking about the Snyder Cut. Right? He says, "Has Jason tell you anything about a Snyder Cut thing?" And Mada actually responded. He says it's mind-blowing, and in which response is, holy s, no way, is it coming this year? Then did he tell you it's too secret, top secret? Can you tell me a hint, please? In which Mada says, sorry, my lips are sealed. Laughter, laughter, laughter. Aw, dang it, but it's coming right this year. LOL. 100. What I'm thinking, it's 100% with a like that. In which case he took that DC Lover King, posted it on Instagram with that shot of that, wondering what is going on, tagged Jason Momoa, which is at Pride of Gypsies partner. I was talking to early, giving me a hint here, hashtag Snyder Cut at Go Real Deal, tagging that person you just talked to. It's mind-blowing, hashtag release a Snyder Cut. So he's not shying from a personal DM to actually talking about it right there in person. So I'm hoping if that person doesn't get mad that he did that. But you look at this and you're like, what is going on here, right? I mean, you can't help to get excited knowing who Go Real Deal is. And of course, he does have his own private Instagram account as well, but he also does Go Real Deal. I tried looking up if there were other Go Real Deals out there. I could not find any. When he posted this part out, it was only this part where it was that comment about, sorry, my lips are sealed. It's coming right this year, LOL. When he posted it out, I kind of shared it around, and and people were asking, what's the context of this? He doesn't actually say anything about the Snyder Cut within that comment. It's just what the comment DC Lover had said. So I decided to reach out to DC Lover King and ask him, can I see the further conversations of that DM? Can you send me that? And which he did. He did send it me, and I kind of cut some pieces away, and it does indeed says Go Real Deal, and shows his phone and stuff like that, and he did it pretty quickly enough, unless he had it prepared. I'm not saying he's lying or anything, unless he had it prepared and it was all nicely put together, who knows. But at this point, I'm feeling like I want to trust it, but I'm not sure. We've been hurt before, with so many promises and so many things and so many instances where we get too excited and hyped up and nothing ever happens, but it's just intriguing to me. It's just intriguing to me to see this, and it for sure he's talking about Snyder Cut, as we see in these two boxes here, and I'm getting excited. I'm excited, but like someone asked, like many people ask, why would he tell this to some, not that DC Lover King's a nobody, but essentially in compared to like a media blogger or somebody important, why would he tell someone fan this? And I take a step back, right? I'm taking a step back. Now, if someone asks me something that I know, and if for instance, if Heroic Hollywood asks me, if they approach and say, hi, my name is blah, 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 I'm from Heroic Hollywood, I like to know if the Snyder Cut will come out. Well, and I was this person, if I was someone who has information, and I look at that that DM, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to tell you because I might get in trouble. I know who you are. You are some blogger. You are someone who puts stuff out. I am not going to give you that information because I don't trust you. Just like how Jason Momoa would tell stuff to fans rather than go to tell stuff to somebody who is bigger up. I mean, he's done that where he's blurted it out, and that's the type of person he is. But for the most part, a lot of people keep quiet in consideration to bloggers and who they know who's talking to them, right? So if Heroic Hollywood or if Hollywood Reporter, and if I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut, I wouldn't necessarily tell those people that yes, I have this information, yes, it's coming, yes, it's 100% done, yes, it's mind-blowing. I wouldn't say that. But if it was a fan that I don't think would make too much too much waves, a fan that I would think would not get me in trouble, or I could just deny it saying that never happened, then yeah, I would just, if I had that I really wanted to tell somebody, I'm like, yeah, you know what, it's true, don't tell anybody, it didn't come from me, I would do that, So I think that's what's happening here. Why would he tell a nobody, not no insult to DC Lover King, I'm just saying in comparison to an official like a blogger or something like that, a media site, something like that, a reporter, he would probably be able to tell that person, because knowing that he has no a status per se in terms of Hollywood. So I think that's what's happening there if this is true, right? The other thing is why would Go Real Deal or Mada actually have this information? Well, he's with Jason Momoa. He's with him. Jason Momoa likes to talk to people. And why would he know that? I don't know. I'm not sure why a personal trainer would know when something would be released or not. I don't know why Jason would know if something released or not. I have no idea. I'm just looking at what's shown here, and I'm just thinking back to why did Jason Momoa fly all the way to see Zack Snyder just to give him a camera? Now, it could be he has a lot of time. Celebrities have a lot of time, have a lot of money. They go out of their ways to do things. Sure, he's going everywhere, here and there and everywhere. And that's possible as well, absolutely. He could even be a cameo in Army of the Dead, which would be pretty damn awesome. And I think that's probably one of the best cases of where he was in Albuquerque, right? But I can't comprehend that part of the deal where he decides to give him a camera and actually say stuff about the Snyder Cut at that moment. Like, what was that purpose? What is going on with that? Is it possible that his company On the Roam could have any type of thing in dealing with getting the Snyder Cut release? Did he pitch money to Zack Snyder? Like, let's say for the people who said the movie's not done and it requires money, would Jason Momoa be the type of man who wants to help Zack Snyder by giving him, here's the money to finish the cut, and then you can put On the Roam as part of the production credits on that movie when it comes out? That could happen, maybe. Or if it is done, hey, Jason, why don't you come and take a look at this movie? Or let's talk business. Or at that meeting, we're talking about Army of the Dead. And he's like, and of course, if his trainer is probably with him at the same time, hey, his trainer is probably the one videoing the movie, right? He's the one videoing Jason, getting the camera out, giving it to the Zack Snyder. So they're definitely talking about the Snyder Cut at that moment. So is that possible? That's totally possible as well. We can only rely on what we see through the camera. We can only rely on what we see on post. But we can always discuss it. We can always speculate what's going on. And to me, as if I'm being really truly optimistic, I've got the tinfoil hat on, I can probably say, oh my God, if this is all true, then is it really coming out this year? Even though they've said HBO Max is to be to start next year. then what's going on? Like, what is going on, guys? Is it really happening? And sometimes there are cases, and this is one of those cases where I just remain speechless and wondering to myself, is this really happening? This is one of those moments right now for me. And this is just me being possibly overly optimistic, possibly with a giant tinfoil hat on. There are many reasons this could go wrong, could go sour, and this is not actually coming true. I don't know if DC Lover is really lying to me or not. He was able to edit that really quickly in a time that I asked for those picks. I don't know. But I've never felt better and more optimistic that a Snyder Cut will be releasing soon than I am right now. And that's all I'll say about that. So, to sum it up, this is all to your interpretation. I'm not suggesting anything. This is how I'm feeling. This is me being optimistic, as you already know me so well, being the tinfoil man, as you already know me so well. But I am dearly excited. I did send that to Lois Centeno, and he posted that out. He's very excited as well. But that's all we can be. We can be just very excited, speculate and things like that, and hope that things can come true. But if it doesn't come true, there is still a chance to make it happen. And that chance is with Ann Sarnoff's letter. And RT Snyder Cut has been posting an update almost every day about getting those letters ready, getting those letters done. And it is time, guys. It is definitely time for the next round of countries, rather, to get their letters off, and that is starting today. In fact, today and tomorrow, and we might as well get all the days in a row. Today and tomorrow, we got Australia, Sri Lanka, New Zealand, South Africa, United Kingdom, Greece, Mexico, Portugal. Then we go into the 17th, Canada, Caribbean, Colombia, Uruguay, I can never say that, Hungary, Russia, India, Pakistan, me in Hawaii, and the rest of the USA on September 18th. California, of course, September 20th, because it's literally right there. I mean, you could hand it off yourself if you wanted to, But, and the Ann Sarnoff letters we're still going to do that. We're still going to continue doing that, just to show Warner Brothers that we care. We want to see the Snyder Cut. We want to give justice back to the creators, to the cast and crew members of Justice League, and hopefully this is a domino effect, and that the Ayer Cut will come soon right after. All right, guys, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.